Hey everybody, this is Nicole, and today I am here with Rob from Trip Hacks DC. And Trip Hacks DC is a YouTube channel, and he also has a website, and basically shares insider tips and tricks for people visiting the city. So Rob, welcome. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are, what you love about DC, and a little bit about your YouTube channel?
Great, thanks Nicole. I am Rob from Trip Hacks DC. If you're interested in learning some of the best tips, tricks, and hacks for exploring the city, you can check out the channel. I'm sure there will be a link to it in the video description. And what I love about Washington DC, especially being a tour guide myself, is that when you come to Washington DC and I'm out showing you around on the National Mall, it kind of feels like I'm on vacation myself. And there are so many great things to see and do here, between the monuments, the museums, the major sites, some of the off the beaten path sites, that there's just so much you can do and explore and spend tons of time here and still not have done it all.
So right now we are in the Navy Yard neighborhood. So let's go outside, explore that area a little bit, and talk a little bit more about traveling to DC, about YouTube, about photography, and about exploring this area.
So I've been a tour guide for 6 years. I started off giving bike tours around the National Mall, and I just really loved it. You know, when I thought about getting a job, I thought, what could be better than a job where I get to ride a bike? And nowadays I focus mostly on walking tours because I really like the experience of being able to show people around and actually take them inside of the sites and the landmarks. So on a bike, unfortunately, I can't drag a bunch of bikes up the stairs inside the Lincoln Memorial, but on foot, I get to go inside, show you the Lincoln Memorial, show you the Gettysburg Address and the speeches and the symbolism and that sort of thing.
So what came first, being a YouTuber or being a tour guide?
Being a tour guide definitely came first. I've done that for 6 years. I've only been on YouTube for about 2 years. So the reason why I started the YouTube channel is because I used to be a tour guide and I used to work for another company, a big company, and I really wanted to go off on my own, do my own tours, make it my own company. But in Washington, DC, it is extremely difficult to start a new tour company from scratch. Because the hardest part is, how do you get anybody to know that you even exist? And so there are lots of different, traditional methods you could use, advertising, Google AdWords, that sort of thing, but it tends to be very, very expensive. So I decided to do an experiment to try something new, which was to create content for YouTube and see if people would find it, and if they found it helpful, I could offer them a tour as well. And so far it's been very successful, and a lot of people have found me through YouTube, trying to find videos on things like how to ride the metro or tips for getting the most out of the museums, and then they really like what I have to say and they'll contact me for a tour. My first video was titled, I think, 10 apps that you should download for your visit to Washington, DC. And what sparked the interest in that was that people ask me all the time, I'm coming to town, what apps should I download? And I thought, what better opportunity than to put that into video form, to grab some screenshots from those apps and to really show what they look like and tell people how to use them. So the app video is my first, but my most popular video is actually my How to Ride the Metro video, which interestingly was actually the second video that I filmed. It wasn't the second video that I posted, so it's one of my older pieces of material, but it definitely, even to this day, still gets more views per day than any of the other videos. My videos are pretty simple. They follow a pretty simple formula. It's me monologuing in front of a wall, and then I give tips and advice and travel hacks, and then I have little photos and little video clips interspersed in between my tips. And probably the hardest part is getting all of those photos and video clips, because as you know, as a photographer, videographer, to go out in the city and get all those clips just requires a ton of time. Some days you go out and it's too sunny, and some days you go out and it's rainy and you can't get exactly the photo or the video that you want. And so, as a tour guide, I'm also out giving tours a lot, and I just don't really have a ton of time to go and collect all of that good stuff. So the most rewarding thing about doing the videos is when people sign up for a tour and they show up and they say, we signed up for this tour because we found your videos and they were so helpful and we just wanted to say hello and hang out with you for 3 hours on the tour. It's one thing for people to watch the videos and send me an email and say, hey, that was helpful. It's another thing, it's a whole other level for someone to watch the videos, find it helpful, and then to spend their hard-earned money to sign up for a tour and come out to see the monuments and memorials with me. So that's really inspiring.
What advice would you give to other YouTubers out there, especially those who want to make travel videos?
Well, if you're a travel video maker, watch videos from your destination before you go and see if there's someone like me who's already in that location who's making videos that you might be able to connect with, or maybe sign up for a tour and get a unique experience that you wouldn't get if you were just going off on your own. And for general YouTube advice, follow best practices. I have studied YouTube best practices to an extreme degree, I feel like, and so I think really hard about how I'm going to title each one of my videos and what picture I'm going to put on the thumbnails. And I know that that can seem like the last thing you want to do. You want to focus on getting good footage, good B-roll, drone imagery, that sort of thing. But thinking about things like just what you're going to title your video is extremely important, especially if you want people to find it and to watch it. So if you only have one video that you could watch, it should definitely be my 9 important things to know about visiting Washington, D.C. video, because that gives you lots of information on a lot of different topics. And I think if you watch that, you'll get a pretty broad overview of what I'm about and the advice that I like to give. If you could watch 2, maybe, then I would recommend one of my Metro videos, because especially if you're coming from a part of the country or a part of the world where you don't have public transportation or a subway or a metro, you might feel a little intimidated. So I have a lot of Metro videos that I've developed to help people navigate the Metro and feel a lot more comfortable, and there will be a link to that playlist down in the video description.
So if you have some free time, which I know you don't have a lot of, where would you go in DC that tourists would not typically go to, or kind of like a lesser known spot?
Okay, well, I know a lot of people do like to go to sports games when they come and visit a new city, and one of my favorite places to be in the summer is at a Nationals baseball game. So that's one place that you'll probably find me if you don't find me on the National Mall giving a tour. But right around here where we are right now in the Yards Park is a wonderful place. You can see people behind me jogging, walking dogs, having fun, reading books. It's just a wonderful place to come and spend some time, relax, and get away from some of the hustle and bustle that you'd get downtown.
So now you know a little bit about DC. You've met Rob from Trip Hacks. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to find Rob's channel, I'm going to link to it in the description below, and also after this video is done, you're going to see this channel pop up in one of his videos. So be sure to check that out. And do you have anything else to say?
Thanks for watching the video. Support Nicole. She does awesome work, great photography, and I just am really impressed with the stuff that she's doing.
Yeah, thanks Rob for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And guys, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, that would mean a lot to me, and enjoy the rest of your day.